What's up? What's good? Wolf is here. So, I seen a little something about this TierListMaker.com thing, as you can see right up there. Tiermaker.com is where you can put, make a little bit of a controversial tier list. Take your opinion, put games of your choice or whatever, movies, games, whatever that they have on the websites. You can put them in the list of your choosing, and of course the tiers are S through F tier. So if the game failed, F rank. If it's like the best thing ever, 10 out of 10, greatest game you've ever played, S rank on that. So yeah, we're gonna do this. I'm going to watch the trailers back 1 through 7, Resident Evil's 1 through 7 trailers, and then RE2 remake, the trailer for that, and Resident Evil 3. So the reason why I wanted to do this is just because Resident Evil 3 is right around the corner, so I was like, you know what, let's do something a little bit fun. I'm also going to try and do like the Devil May Cry series, Call of Duty series and such. So this is something like a bit of a new series for the channel. Should be fun. Let's get into this. Let's do it. So first of all, let's go in and watch the trailers. Resident Evil 1 through 7, the trailers right here. Hopefully this doesn't blast. I might not watch the full trailers because this is a 15-minute video. Alright, yes, the dogs and everything. Just a refresher, a memory refresher. Okay. The dogs, the stars stuff going on. Resident Evil Remastered. Alright, that's enough. That's all we need to watch of the first trailer. So, first trailer, first game, first trailer up, which is Resident Evil 1, which would be this bad boy right here. I'm gonna say Resident Evil 1 for me was a pretty top tier game. I don't know if I can say it was perfect because there is some other Resident Evils that, especially one Resident Evil, which I think everybody kind of knows where I'm going to go with that because I played it so many times over again. But Resident Evil 1, my god, the puzzles, the mansion, even when you once you figure out where everything is, and I think this down here is also Resident Evil 1 also, isn't it? I think so. You know what I gotta do so I can actually see these a little bit better? Hold on a second. Changed up resolutions a little bit, made my desktop a little bit bigger. So this is also Resident Evil 1. This is a very classic Resident Evil 1. Now technically I would say, okay, so this is the GameCube, I think, version of Resident Evil 1. Now I played Remaster, and I don't see Remaster in this list anywheres. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna put this one, oh god, where is it? I'm gonna put this one up here. I'm gonna say I'm gonna have to take this one out. Okay, I'm gonna have to take out the one that I did not play. So any of them that I didn't play, I'm gonna have to take out this this list, because there is a couple of them I have not had hands on with, like the Game Boy one, Resident Evil, was it Gaiden? Never even, I don't know. I've never played that one. Resident Evil 1, A tier, absolutely A tier. Like I said, I did play through the remastered version of it, which the remastered version looked really good. It kind of took away the tank controls a little bit. I did get hands-on with the PlayStation 1 version of Resident Evil. I always really wanted to play Resident Evil 1 back in the day. But I just never got into it. I was kind of a little bit too young for it at the time. I was more or less into platformers at the time than just shooting zombies and everything. I know, right? So, playing Crash and Spyro and, oh man, just like that era of like platformers and everything. Like it was like a golden era of platformers. So I was into that stuff and racing, Driver, some NASCAR games and stuff like that, like just doing like a bunch of race car games and like platforming games and stuff, and also some fighting games. I was definitely tinkering around with the fighting games like Tekken. Resident Evil 2. Let's get into Resident Evil 2. Yeah, see, like, that remastered right there. That's what I played. So Resident Evil 2 with zombies everywhere. Leon Kennedy coming into the city and just rah. It's trying to bite me. Boy, when you see the remake, it's just like, we came that far, man. We came that far. Resident Evil engine.
Wait! Don't shoot!
Get down! Boom, boom. Man, the police office, RPD, I should say, police department, the liquors. Once again, just really crazy like gameplay stuff that I did. All right, Resident Evil 2. I think I would put Resident Evil 2, the original Resident Evil 2. I would put. I mean, this is kind of hard. Playing through it, I think it did have a damn good story to it, and it did do a really good job introducing Leon and everything. It's once again an origin story, so the origin story I think also bumps up to A tier. So the first two Resident Evils, they knocked it out of the park for the time of the hardware and everything that they had to work with. They did the best with it that they could. So then we go on to Resident Evil 3, the game that is about to get one hell of a remake. Very loud trailers. Again, I really enjoyed this one with Jill and everything. I didn't really like Carlos as much. I really enjoyed Jill. Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Jill coming through. So Nemesis was a bit short, I kind of felt, which a lot of people say that about it. I do like Nemesis though, chasing after you. That was a very cool difference other than the tyrants. A lot of stuff carried over from Resident Evil 2, which copied into Resident Evil 3. Overall, the story was just as good as Resident Evil 2, if not maybe even a little bit better, because the military aspect of things and just the whole city going, just going to hell, while while everybody's just trying to figure out what the hell is going on. Boy, Resident Evil 3. Is it B or A? Oh. And multiple choices in it. I think there's multiple endings in no, there wasn't multiple endings in Resident Evil 3, but there was multiple choices, which is cool, but then you don't have the multiple playthroughs to do in it. I really it's like B plus. Okay, it is B plus, but it's still B. I will still say it's a B. I will say it's a little bit, it didn't quite do what these two did. The free roam aspect in it was really cool, but we had seen that in other games at the time, like a Driver or even Final Fantasy VII with the map and everything. So at the time, it was very cool for what it was doing. Did we see more expansive games do the same kind of thing? Yes. Possibly even do it better. This is where the controversy is going to start up in this video.
Don't worry, Ashley. I'm coming for you.
I'm coming for ya. So I recently, literally like a couple weeks ago, no, last week,
It's game time.
a few days ago, last week, just like the little squirt as the biggest bad guy of them all. Leon Kennedy looking like a badass. The ogre
Who are these people?
that redefined a genre. Leon Kennedy and Ada Wong were the coolest, the two coolest things in this whole game. Everything else is kind of a really. So alright, so after just getting the playback, flashing it into my memory, where's the actual, what is this tier list? What is this tier list stuff? Resident Evil 4. Man, so the puzzles were kind of they were alright, but it was like after a while you're just like, okay, are we done yet? The characters for the most part, other than, like I said, Leon and Ada were the two best things in the game. All of the other characters they just felt so, it was like they were trying so hard, and then they made them so corny, and it was just like, oh, this is kind of try hard. It's kind of try hard to be like, you know, cool and whatnot. So for that, and yes, they remastered and everything. I played the HD remastered version. They made it look decent. I don't see the remastered version down here in this collection for Resident Evil 4. But yeah, I'm gonna say C tier is probably where I put this. I think it's just an average game. I think Leon looks badass. Ada Wong is badass in this game. I think they look cooler later on, but Resident Evil 4, you know, Leon with his brown leather jacket on, his brown bomber jacket and everything, most classic look in Resident Evil history. That's the reason why I put it on the Resident Evil 2 remakes mods on the PC and everything. I think it looks badass. He does do some really cool, like flipping out the windows and, you know, doing like they do like the whole Matrix scene in there and everything, where the slow-mo happens and he grabs a knife and Ada's like grabbing her gun at him there. Awesome. That stuff is really cool. Like I said, those are the two best things in the game. Outside of that, nothing really grabbed a hold of me. I thought the Las Plagas was kind of just like, okay, this is alright, but it's just kind of tentacle monsters. Like, you could do so much cooler stuff, which ended up happening later on with like Resident Evil 7 with the molded and stuff. But then Resident Evil 2, with the way that they did those zombies, you know, I know that they had hardware limitations back then, but I don't know. I just feel like they could have done something more with it. So I played this recently, played it co-op. Them turning the virus into a bioweapon, we knew it was kind of coming. We definitely knew it was kind of coming. I actually played this back in the day.
Show yourself.
This was...
Fortunately, it's too late for you.
Okay, Wesker being badass in this. Wesker was probably the best part of this whole game. Straight up. Wesker was just badass. Chris, I don't know. I never really got into the character of Chris on this. I always wanted to play this back in the day. I played a demo of this. This was actually the first time I ever got hands-on with Resident Evil. Was this game. And it was cool, and it made me want to really get a Resident Evil game. Never did until way later on. It was just something that, like, I was playing Call of Duty and this and that stuff. Like I said, Resident Evil has always been a franchise that, you know, I don't have a whole bunch of, like, you know, the nostalgia for it. I'm kind of like the fan, kind of just a neutral fan that's like, this was cool. It was fun. It wasn't the best. There was okay, so the levels in it were very kind of like just brown and grays, and there's not a whole lot of like pop to the levels of the axe guy there. He basically is a rip off a Pyramid Head from Silent Hill. He's pretty cool. I give it that. He's pretty cool. Some of the stuff in this is kind of cool. Wesker going all kind of Matrixy in this is pretty cool. Chris looking like a steroid freak, and like, you know, him punching the boulder was probably the best thing of the whole thing, which was just a funny moment. But Chris is not. I don't know. I don't feel like they do Chris justice. He could be, you know, I don't know. maybe not so dumb. So the opening thing, when this guy is turning into a zombie, he literally looks at the guy and he's like, freeze, you know, and this and that stuff. I'm like, you know, he's turned into a zombie. You've been through this. And then he literally acknowledges right afterwards, that's not like any zombie I ever seen before. And it's like, what? You were like, I don't know what's going on. But then all of a sudden you acknowledge that he's probably a zombie. It was just dumb writing like that. And Capcom was, I'm pretty sure this was the moment where Capcom was kind of going through like a very dumb period. They were struggling to really get their foot foot back on the ground in this like current like console generation and whatnot. So I see the reason why stuff is the way it is in this. But yeah, overall, like Shiva, yeah, this you know, once again we get these like kooky characters that are just kind of like, like, really?
You've spent so long trying to track down Ouroboros. Well, here, enjoy.
Ouroboros. Yeah, this was.
Feeble attempts only delay the
Yeah, this was the Wesker fights and everything.
will be infected. A new Genesis is at hand, and I will be the creator.
Like I said, Wesker, one of the best parts of the whole game.
So, you've made it this far. Too bad you won't make it much further.
As soon as you two are done with your little vigilante mission, you should leave. There's nothing here worth throwing your lives away for.
So the Goop Monsters. Revenge of the Goop Monsters. So yeah, Resident Evil 5, I'm going to actually put in the D tier. Nothing really stood out that really caught my attention with Resident Evil 5. I tried to play through it recently in co-op, and it was just like, I just don't care to play through this. You know, I won't say it was a total fail. There are some fun moments that can be had. It is a Resident Evil game. There's the puzzles, the combat is there. It actually handles better than Resident Evil 4, way better. It's still got kind of the tank controls, but it does the controls better, which, you know, that would slightly put it like, I guess, D plus area. It's just the whole package deal is just like a D for me. Nothing really caught my attention with it. The next one might be actually pretty badass. Yes. All right. So now we are into the spot of
About the Raccoon City incident. Mentioning my desire to reveal. I'm going to tell them everything. I've always valued your friendship, Leon.
So now we're into the point of where all hell is broken loose. Everybody knows what's going on. The virus is out there in the world. You know, all the cities are getting taken over by this virus and everything. It's actually, you know, public knowledge. And they act as so. So it's not so much people being dumb anymore. Does Leon have a kind of a dumb moment? It's not even a dumb moment. He just doesn't, you know, he doesn't want to like murder, or he doesn't want to, well, take out the I'm pretty sure it was the president in this scene right here. So it's not dumb moments. It's actually well constructed moments. I think Resident Evil 6, and this is probably going to be one more very controversial one. I think Resident Evil 6 is actually A tier. Multiple stories that actually carry on the legacy that was there with Resident Evil 1 and 2 that was made, and somewhat of Resident Evil 3. I think there is some parts in there. It has nothing to do with Resident Evil 4 and 5. Not so much. Well, okay, 5, yes, because Chris is kind of carrying on into Resident Evil 6. But for the most part, it's its own kind of contained stories. Did they go overboard with it? Absolutely. That's why it's not, you know, it's not S tier at all. I'd say it's an A minus. I'll say it's an A minus. It's like right in between the B plus A minus area. The older Resident Evils, I think they're some of the best ones that they've done. To me, Resident Evil has always been an action game, not a horror game, and I think Resident Evil 6 does a very good job at making the action game part of it feel very fluid. Also, it looks great. You go back and you check it out now. It looks really, really good.
Stay where you are.
It's all my fault.
I think Leon has a pretty badass
I did this.
look. Also in this game, you have these moments like that where the city's being
90%
overrun.
of the population in Tall Oaks has been infected with the virus. That runs out to about 70,000 hostiles.
Yeah. This is Raccoon City all over again.
I mean, it doesn't this look
Wanna tell me what's in there?
somewhat like Resident Evil 5, but it's just way more just like better looking.
Running away.
It has way better action scenes to it.
Accept responsibility.
It's serious, but at the same time, it's not totally taking itself too serious. And I've heard that a lot of people say that it takes itself too serious. I don't even think so, because there is some crazy moments of like, yeah, see, like running through Chinatown and stuff, the monsters with like bug eyes and everything. Wesker's son. Again, I think this is going to be all retconned going forward, but yeah, I mean, you know, Sherry being in here and everything, that the girl that you rescued and everything from Resident Evil 2 does a damn good way of bringing all that storyline together. All right, so then next up, and then we get into one of the craziest Resident Evil experiences that we've ever seen. Resident Evil 7. Now, Resident Evil 7, I have 2 ratings for Resident Evil 7. And I really wish there was 2 separate ones for Resident Evil 7, because it absolutely deserves it. Now, RE7 as a game itself, I would say an A-. It's like right between the B+, A-. Probably a solid A- also. Didn't do too much for like the game world itself. Ethan is kind of which that's where it brings it down to maybe like a B+. Mia, the whole plot twist of Mia and, you know, the little girl and everything, that sets it back up to an A-. The Bakers are fun. I'd say it's solid A- there. The gameplay being first person, very different but very well done first person, and the reason why I would put it up to a solid A+ would be VR. Now that's where I also, now the VR, Resident Evil 7 VR, I just man, do I want a second one here with just the VR part of it, because VR S tier. VR is absolutely S tier. That is one of the craziest things I have ever done in gaming. One of the absolute just mind-blowing, you're inside the mansion and everything. I guess this would actually, yeah, be a solid S tier just because of the VR experience. When you play this in VR, it kills the original game of playing it just in, you know, on your screen. In VR is like, it is the standard bearer for VR games. It's one of the coolest things ever. So yeah, I guess I am. I'm going to put it in S tier just because of the VR experience of just mind-blowing. The molded are actually pretty cool. The regenerative stuff brings it back into the kind of the wacky part of Resident Evil. The plot twist that goes in with it, the DLC of setting up for Resident Evil 8, and also for this game, Resident Evil 2. My goodness. Resident Evil 2, wow. I mean, the base game itself is absolutely great. One of the funnest Resident Evils I have ever laid hands on. One of the funnest shooting puzzle games, horror games, action games, whatever you want, whatever category you put it in. S tier all day long. That's why I got such a kind of hype for Resident Evil 3 remake when that's gonna be hitting. So the main entries of Resident Evil right here. All right, Resident Evil 0. Resident Evil 0. Rebecca's cool, but she doesn't do much in the other Resident Evil, so it's like they're setting up a cool character that doesn't go anywheres. The other guy is kind of the inventory system was kind of having to control both of them and do all that, I just felt like the game went a little too long. But I will say the story that it sets up is pretty decent. I think B tier would be pretty solid for this one. It's not great, it's not the worst, it's just kind of a thing that is there. It sets up a pretty good story arc, just like Resident Evil 3 did with Nemesis. I think RE3 remake is really going to set the bar once again for Resident Evil. But Resident Evil 0 kind of just B tier. This Revelations 2. Revelations 2 would be, I'm going to say A. I actually really enjoyed Revelations. Revelations was actually a really solid, well done Resident Evil game. Umbrella Corp, I will say it was, there's not much. I didn't fully play through it. I didn't fully play through Umbrella Corp. What I did play of it, I will put it in the C tier. It was a little rough for the time when it came out. For the other shooters that are out around it, this was a little bit rough. It definitely was. Code Veronica, definitely D tier. Doesn't do much, even though it's Claire. The other guy is just like so forgettable. Okay, Revelations 1 also right up there alongside Revelations 2. Okay, yes, that one I put up there. I think that does it for the tier list. So I will again, not one of my all-time end-all be-all favorite series, but I really do enjoy most of what Resident Evil does. There is some absolute lemons in there and everything. You know what? Let's just drop these right off the board. We'll pretend like those never even happened. But overall, yeah, like the Code Veronica, the Outbreaks and stuff like that are just overall, they are definitely, Resident Evil's in the right track of getting way better with the remakes. So it's great to see it. It's great to see it. They've had a solid lineup of decent games. There have been a couple games that were just kind of like, okay, whatever. There's been a couple of them where I'm just like, they're there. I mean, but they're there. Okay, it's something to do. And then there's also, like I said, the ones that are just like, oh man, I just don't care. Resident Evil 5, I literally ran through it once just to run through it. I just played it just to play it, and I really didn't care for it after that. Revelations, really, I felt like that was way better put together and way better done than Resident Evil 5. So yeah, this was I don't know, this is a fun little video. It's a fun little video. Resident Evil 3 is going to be great. Can't wait to see it. Tiermaker.com. You can do a little fun thing, make a little bit of a tier list. So the Resident Evil fans are probably going to be somewhat mad. Everybody always gets mad at these videos of, it's just my personal opinion. Doesn't say whether or not the series is the greatest thing ever or the worst thing ever. It's just literally an opinion, personal opinion at that. So yeah, this was fun. I can't wait to do more of these. I definitely am going to do an Assassin's Creed one and a Call of Duty one, because those are two series where I've played. They have a lot of games. I've played through all of them. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for stopping by. And I guess I will be seeing ya next time.